Junction City Today fans, Craig Bielik, your host, and I am joined by Steve Jones with Save 223. Now, I know what your first question is going to be. What is 223 and why are we trying to save it? And that's the reason we have this show right here. And that's what Steve Jones is here today to tell us. First off, what is 223?
223 is a steam locomotive that was built in 1881.
Whoa.
It is on the National Register of Historic Places. It's significant in that it is the last locomotive of this type, and it's designated as C16 model. It was a small locomotive. It was used in logging and mining and so forth. It was manufactured by the Grant Locomotive Works.
Okay.
And it's basically the last one of these that has the potential to run again.
It is living history.
It is living history.
Living history. Where is 223 right
223
now?
is in pieces and parts in the trainman's building here at Union Station. We have been using that facility as our restoration shop. And the shop is not exclusively the 223 project. It's available for any of the museums here at Union Station who need restoration facilities.
So how did we end up getting here in Ogden? I say we, us Ogdenites. How did Ogdenites end up getting the 223?
Well, a bunch of interested citizens back in 1991 and a couple years prior to that tried to get the 223 moved to Ogden. It was stored behind the DNRGW depot in Salt Lake City for like 10 years. It had been in a public park for 40 years or something like that before that, and no one knew what to do with it. So our chapter of the RNLHS was formed with the primary mission of getting 223 restored.
So you guys have been working on this since 1991?
Since 1991.
And what are you doing? I mean, describe restoring this thing.
Well, it was operational when it was donated to the city of Salt Lake.
Okay.
It sat in the park with no maintenance, no protection, and just rusted away.
Oh, wow.
And so basically when it was moved up here, the wheels would not turn. Things were rusted.
That's important for a train.
It's important.
To have the wheels move.
Absolutely. So when we finally got the parts taken off of it, we had Wagstaff crane, donated a piece of equipment, and their crew helped us to separate the boiler from the running gear, helped us to get the parts into the shop. And when we finally got it taken apart, we found it was just that rusted that it couldn't move.
Wow.
Okay, so we are really having to take it down to the bare metal, take everything apart, refurbish what we can. For instance, in the case of the cab, which was all wooden, our project manager built CAD drawings. We remanufactured it from scratch.
Wow.
The tender was pretty close to the same situation. The metal parts of the tender, the water tank, was so rusted out that it just simply could not be repaired and reused. So again, our project manager built CAD drawings, and we remanufactured the tender from the wheels up.
Oh, wow. So now you guys are all volunteers, right?
We are all volunteers.
Right. And why are you volunteering to do this?
It's a labor of love.
Is that right? You love the 223.
That's the only way to describe it, because we're not, no one is getting paid 1 cent for any of the things that we do. It's just with hopes that we preserve this history and that someday we see it running again.
Really?
That's it.
So what's your best guess as to when you might have this thing running?
It's impossible to say that.
It's impossible.
It's impossible to say that.
Yeah.
And the reason being, we're a group of volunteers that appear Saturday mornings. We work about 4 hours each week. We're very dependent on the community. A lot of the businesses have been very generous in donating materials or donating services. Most of the time when that happens, it's done with the caveat that if it's services, they'll work it in as fill in between other jobs and so forth. So we can't dictate a schedule.
Okay.
Okay. And that's great because, we don't have an unlimited budget. So the compromise is we work with them on time. And so
Do it when you can.
Do it when you can.
Do it when you can. Steve, if let's say you get this thing running in the next, I don't know, say 5 years, or something like that, what will you do with it? I mean, we're not going to haul apples or something to Salt Lake. I mean, what are you going to do with it?
Well, and that's a complex problem because it's a complex problem because what it is a narrow gauge locomotive. So that means the rails are 3 feet apart instead of standard gauge, which is what we have here.
Okay.
4 feet, 8.5
That's
inches.
That's a problem. You have training wheels or something? Can you?
Well, almost.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, we've had discussions. What do we do after it's running? One of the possibilities is have a third rail put on one of the tracks behind Union Station. That would not give us a lot of room to run it, but in fact, it could be demonstrated.
Right.
So that's a possibility. The other possibility, and probably more practical, would be to truck it up to one of the narrow gauge excursion railroads in Colorado and have it be a guest there for special events and so forth.
Sure. You mentioned that you do have some costs. I mean, everybody's volunteer, but there are costs, and a lot of businesses have been very generous to help you out with material and things like that.
Absolutely.
But how do you guys raise money for this thing?
We just simply put our hands out.
and
make the case.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that we do as often as we can is we have the shop open for tours. Success builds success. So people love to see what we've done. They love the quality of what we've done, and they want to become a part of it.
This is really touching, and I know you have a website, and there it is right there. We're going to put it on the screen.
Okay.
And this is where people can get more information.
Absolutely.
And how many volunteers are involved in this?
We have a group. Well, let me back up a second. The Railway and Locomotive Historical Society is a national organization.
Yeah.
There's about 12 chapters around the country, and they're all converging on Ogden during the Spike 150 celebration for our annual meeting.
Wow.
Okay. So our local chapter is about 40 dues-paying members. A lot of the members are in other parts of the country, and they're just paying the dues to help us with the financial aspects of doing 223. There's probably 8 to 10 people who are local who show up every week and help us move things forward.
Wow.
So
that's incredible. I need to come. I want to come and see this. I want to see it in action, and I want to see the 223. This picture behind us, is that the actual 223?
Absolutely.
That's the feller right there?
That's it.
He does look rusty.
He is rusty. That is the boiler. Okay. I'm sorry, that's the entire 223 before the boiler was taken off of the running gear.
Wow. How do you get rust off anyway?
Elbow grease.
Is that right? Like, you got to scrub it.
You got to scrub it. Absolutely. Now,
really?
Some of it gets sandblasted.
Oh, wow. I had no clue.
In fact, one of the local businesses, American Blast and Restoration, has been helping us out with sandblasting of large components that we can't handle ourselves.
Wow.
We pay for it, but they give us a very nice discount. And they just love history and want to see this thing come together.
Wow. Save 223, save223.org. That's the website. This is Steve Jones, and we've been talking about what the 223 is, why we need to save it, and how they're saving it, and we're really looking forward to seeing it saved. I mean, that would really be wonderful. If you want more information, please visit that website. Please help these guys out. I know a lot of you out there have a connection to the railroad. I know a lot of you, love the railroad. You've got a soft spot in your heart. Maybe your grandson loves Thomas the Train or something like that. This is an actual train. This is a piece of history that could become a living piece of history. And Steve and the other people that you see in these photos, among others, are working to make that happen. Steve, thanks for coming on the show today.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let's have some
Let's
fun.
save the 223. Let's
there you
save
go.
it. Come on. Do I get it right on it? I mean, if it gets finished and I help save it. Can I ride on
I'll
it?
make you a deal.
What's that?
Well, the next steps that we have to do, like restoring the boiler, it's something that we can't do with volunteers. It has to be professionally done.
Okay, right.
Okay, so we need to change gears and raise money.
Okay, there you go.
So if you raise enough money to help us restore the boiler, we'll let you drive it.
Well, let me drive it.
There you go.
Wow. Now, see, that would be a really bad mistake, Steve, because I am a terrible driver. Ask anyone who knows Craig Bielik, and they will tell you he's a terrible driver, and they will be accurate. So you better just let me ride. But I'm interested in saving the 223, and so should you be. Please help save the 223. There's the website one more time, SaveThe223.org, and if you do, you'll get to meet a nice guy like Steve. Right?
There you go.
All right. And it's Craig Bielik with Junction City Today. So happy that you joined me. Thank you.